now 6 p.m. on Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, can you take the roll, please?
Branham.
Here.
Pugh.
Here.
Little. Here. Livingston.
Here.
Teratio.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Barron.
Here.
Aline.
Here.
Mackey.
Here.
English.
Present.
Newton.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Next item on the agenda, let me first recognize Councilwoman Aileen, who is attending virtually this evening. Per our council rules, she did notify me more than 24 hours in advance, which allows her to attend virtually this evening. Next is our invocation. Councilwoman Teratio, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For this evening, I have my friend Liddy Grantland here to offer the invocation.
You're recognized.
Hi, everybody. If you'll adopt a posture of prayer that feels right for you. In the words of Alice Walker, dear God, dear stars, dear trees, dear sky, dear peoples, dear everything, dear God, thank you for bringing us safely together today. Thank you for the families and communities each of us represent. And thank you for all of the stories held within our beautiful county. Please grant us the ability to see the myriad ways that we are all connected, how we cannot thrive individually without working toward the thriving of our collective. Help us recognize the unique gifts each human being possesses, and help us together to co-create a world where all of us may use our gifts towards our universal well-being. Amen.
Now, if you'll rise, if you are able, for the pledge.
Next is item 4, presentation of proclamations.
Madam Chair,
You're recognized, Councilman Branham.
with the addition of the support of Councilwoman Teratio and I to item 4C, I want to ask that that be moved over to item 5 so that it's a resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second related to item 4C, a proclamation recognizing Juneteenth, to add Councilman Branham. And who else did you mention? And Councilwoman Teratio. So that will include all council members and make that item a resolution. Madam Clerk?
Branham.
Yes.
Pugh.
Yes.
Little. Livingston.
Yes.
Teratio.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes.
Aline.
Yes.
Mackey.
Yes.
English.
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. 4A, a proclamation recognizing Blythewood High School girls track team as the 5A state champions. Madam Clerk?
A proclamation recognizing Blythewood High School girls track team 5A Division I state champions. Whereas it is with great pride and respect that I honor the outstanding Blythewood High School girls track team on their 2025 5A Division I state championship win, historic season, unwavering dedication, and ultimate success. And whereas the Blythewood High School girls track team recently concluded a record-breaking season by becoming the first ever girls team to win back-to-back-to-back state championships at the 5A level in South Carolina. And in doing so, the girls are also the first three-peat state champions in school history. And whereas Bengal athletes secured at least one place on the awards podium in 16 different events, including first place finishes in 4 events. And whereas individual state championships were won by Brooke Bramlett, Amina Roan, Peyton Hightower, Alex Francique, Haley Hightower. In addition to the individual state champions, other Bengals, including all-state honors, were Tyler Moore, Olivia Taylor, Brittany Benson, Anna Kelly, Mallory Hogue, and Scarlett Baker. And whereas other Bengals that qualified and competed at the state meet were Sophie Uaset, Kaylin Dawson, Romel Garway, Alex Jones, Aubrey Lassane, Jordan Balance, Addie Adelier, and Kia Hendricks. And whereas the Blythewood High School 5A Coach of the Year, Alicia Hawkins, and her assistant coaches, Steva Nabinet, Jeff Jones, Ron Bramlett, Gabe Flores, and Patrick Kelly have also demonstrated their commitment and integral part in the exceptional achievement of the team members for whom they lead. And whereas the Blythewood High School girls track team and their coaches have demonstrated to their school and to the community that success is their priority with the educational development of students through athletics, mental alertness, physical growth, discipline, and hard work. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Richland County Council Vice Chair Derek Pugh does hereby proudly recognize the Blythewood High School girls track team and their coaches for their 2025 third consecutive 5A state championship and for being a symbol of pride and inspiration to Blythewood High School and to Richland County, South Carolina.
Hello? All right. All right. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you ladies. As I told you last year, we made reservations for y'all to be here this year. So next year, we've already making reservations for y'all to be here next year. It's exciting to celebrate these young student athletes. As you know, we don't usually have this much attendance in the audience tonight, but I'm excited that we have this much attendance to be able to celebrate you young people. So in this world where we're dealing with a lot of unorthodox stuff, it's nice to celebrate student athletes that continue to do it over and over and over again. 2023, 2024, 2025, and we look forward to seeing y'all here in 2026. Thank you.
We have several presentations this evening, and so we're going to go through each of them, and then we will take photos at the seal, and then each individual will have time to give remarks at the end. Stick around. Next is 4B, a proclamation recognizing June 15th through the 21st, 2025 as National Mosquito Control Awareness Week. Councilwoman Terratio.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Recognizing National Mosquito Control Awareness Week, whereas mosquitoes are vectors for many potentially harmful diseases, posing a significant threat to public health, and whereas these diseases include, but are not limited to, West Nile virus, dengue fever, malaria, and Eastern equine encephalitis, each capable of causing severe illness, long-term health complications, and even death. And whereas effective mosquito control strategies, including integrated pest management techniques, surveillance, and targeted interventions, play a vital role in reducing mosquito populations and safeguarding the well-being of our citizens. And whereas personal protection measures, such as the use of EPA-registered insect repellents, wearing long sleeves and pants, and eliminating standing water around homes are essential for preventing mosquito bites and protecting individuals from infection. And whereas collaborative efforts between public health agencies, mosquito control districts, healthcare providers, and community members are crucial for implementing comprehensive disease prevention strategies and ensuring the health and safety of our citizens. And whereas National Mosquito Control Awareness Week, observed annually, provides a focused opportunity to educate the public about the risks associated with mosquito-borne diseases and the importance of taking proactive measures to prevent their spread. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that council members Jason Branham, Derek Pugh, Allison Terratio, Don Weaver, Tish Dozier Aileen, Jessica Mackey, Cheryl English, and Shakise Newton of Richland County in the great state of South Carolina do hereby proclaim the week of June 15 through 21 as National Mosquito Control Awareness Week and encourage all residents to learn more about mosquito control and take preventative measures to reduce mosquito breeding sites and to protect themselves from mosquito bites. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Next, we have 4D, a proclamation recognizing June as Gun Violence Awareness Month. Councilwoman Newton.
Thank you. Whereas Gun Violence Awareness Month is observed annually in June across the United States as a time to raise awareness about the devastating impact of gun violence and to advocate for meaningful change. And whereas National Gun Violence Awareness Day, held the first Friday of June, along with Wear Orange Weekend, marks the beginning of a month dedicated to honoring survivors, victims, and families affected by gun violence and fostering unity in the fight against the epidemic. And whereas Gun Violence Awareness Month provides a vital platform to educate the public about the far-reaching consequences of gun violence on individuals, families, and communities, and to inspire action towards creating a safer environment for all. And whereas the act of wearing orange during this month has become a powerful symbol of solidarity and hope, representing a unified commitment to ending gun violence and supporting gun safety initiatives. And I skipped a line that's important, so please pardon me. Whereas every day in the United States, 125 people lose their lives to gun violence, with countless others wounded or traumatized, highlighting the urgent need for action to prevent against these tragedies. Whereas organizations such as Moms Demand Action and other community groups play a critical role in advocating for stronger gun laws, responsible gun ownership, and policies aimed at reducing gun violence, often leading events, walks, and educational programs to promote awareness and foster change. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Council members Derek Pugh, Tyra Little, Dawn Weaver, Gretchen Barron, Tish Dozier-Aileen, and Jessica Mackey. Sorry, I thought I signed up for this. I'll add myself and Shakese Newton do hereby proclaim June as Gun Violence Awareness Month in Richland County, South Carolina. I call upon residents to observe this month by participating in events, sharing knowledge, wearing orange in solidarity, and supporting efforts to promote gun safety and prevent gun violence in our communities.
Thank you so much, Ms. Newton. And I apologize, we need to take a step back because I think we started off wrong and we have a lot of presentations and I skipped a step. So we are right now at the Gun Violence Awareness Month. If we have a representative here this evening for this proclamation, you have a few moments to address. So.
Good evening, thank you. My name is Patty Tuttle. I'm the local Midlands group lead for Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. We are a grassroots organization, all volunteers in all 50 states across the nation. We've got about 10 million supporters who have signed up for our efforts to help end gun violence. Our main goal is to do this through legislative work, so we work with state, local, and federal legislators to try and get common sense gun laws passed. These include things like background checks for all gun sales. We would love to close the Charleston loophole. That's especially important, just seeing what the anniversary today is of the Charleston shooting, which the Charleston loophole, for those who don't know, and somebody just wave your hand if I start talking too long because I can talk for Right now, if somebody's getting a background check done, it's all automated. It takes probably about 5 minutes for most of those people. If it takes longer than 3 days, the licensed gun dealer is legally allowed to sell the firearm, and that's how the Charleston shooter got his gun legally through a licensed dealer. Several other states have closed this loophole. Our state has not done so yet, so it's still 3 days without a background check through the system, and the person, even though they have not passed a background check, is legally allowed to purchase that weapon. Other things we would advocate for are red flag laws that would temporarily and with due process take firearms away from those who are a threat to themselves or others. That probably could have had a big impact in the assassinations that went on in Minnesota last weekend. Things like that. and definitely suicides. In South Carolina, suicides account for 51% of the gun deaths. So all the ones that you hear about on a daily basis on TV, double that. And the councilwoman did state that 125 people die per day in our country from gun violence. Another 2 to 3 times that number are shot and wounded but survive. So we encourage everyone, and by the way, there is a Students Demand Action organization too, so I'd love for more students to get involved with that. But do what you can, call your legislators when they're voting on gun violence bills, gun bills, and working together, we shouldn't have to live like this, and we don't have to, but it's gonna take all of us to make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I'd also like to go back to National Mosquito Control Awareness Week and recognize Olin Towery.
Good evening, distinguished council members. I stand before you this evening with deep gratitude and appreciation on behalf of the Animal Services Department, the Vector Control Division, and all those committed to protecting public health and enhancing quality of life in Richland County. I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Richland County Council for your support of the proclamation recognizing National Mosquito Control Awareness Week. Your acknowledgement of this important initiative sends a clear message that the health, safety, and well-being of our residents are a top priority. This recognition empowers our mosquito control teams, environmental health professionals, and educators to continue their work with renewed visibility and public engagement. It also helps residents better understand the simple steps that they can take to reduce mosquito populations and protect themselves and their families. Thank you again for your leadership, your partnership, and your commitment to the health of our community. We are proud to work alongside you in creating a safer, healthier Richland County.
Thank you. And then a representative from Blythewood High School.
Thank you for having us again this year. Hopefully you'll see us again in 2026. I'm just happy to continue to represent Richland County and South Carolina. So I just hope and pray that, you see us again and the girls continue to keep academics and athletics forefront as we continue our journey and continue to create the standard of Blythewood High School. Thank you.
Next, we have 2 resolutions that we'll need to take action on. A resolution honoring the life and legacy of Dr. Matilda A. Evans, and a resolution recognizing June as National Safety Month. So moved.
Added,
We already voted on that one.
okay.
Yes. So I heard a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Madam Clerk?
Branham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Lean,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. First is a proclamation recognizing Juneteenth. Whereas on January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation freeing all enslaved people in the Confederate States, declaring all enslaved people shall thenceforward and forever free. While that date did not actually mark the unequivocal end of slavery, June 19th, 1865, Union troops arrived in Galveston, Texas to enforce the proclamation that had been given 2 years prior. Thanks to the enlistment of nearly 200,000 colored troops who aided in the Union victory. Formerly enslaved people in Galveston, Texas rejoiced after General Order No. 3. 1 year later, on June 19th, 1866, Freedom in Texas organized the first of what became annual commemorations of Jubilee Day, and early celebrations were used as political rallies to give voting instructions to newly freed African Americans. The South Carolina Juneteenth Freedom Festival commemorates the annual celebration in the city of Columbia with prayer and worship services, cultural performances, community service events, cultural relevant ceremonies, food, and more. The festival was born out of a deep commitment to honor African American ancestors and celebrate their resilience. Founded in 2017 by Rabia Carmen Bradley and Jamal Bradley to recognize the importance of commemorating emancipation and empowering our communities. Recognition of Juneteenth is a critical component of not just African American history, but American history. And it marks a turning point in our nation and a step forward towards becoming a truly great society. Juneteenth commemorates the strength and resolve of African Americans throughout our history and serves as an opportunity to celebrate the rich and numerous contributions of African American people. Now therefore be it proclaimed that Richland County Council members Derek Pugh, Tyra Little, Paul Livingston, Dawn Weaver, Gretchen Barron, Tish Dozier Aileen, Jessica Mackey, Cheryl English, and Shakise Newton do hereby proudly recognize and commemorate June 19, 1865, and today as a celebration of Juneteenth 2025, and encourage all citizens of Richland County and throughout the state of South Carolina to participate in the Juneteenth Freedom Festival in Columbia, South Carolina, and to personally hold themselves accountable to the nation's promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all people. Mr. Bradley, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you all. I promise I'm gonna be very brief. I'm usually Russell Simmons with it. Thank y'all and then done. But this year requires a little bit more. In a time where our history is being buried and counties and cities are pulling back from Juneteenth celebrations, I appreciate all of the members who contributed to making our celebration the grand display that it will be this Saturday in downtown Columbia. So I thank you, Councilwoman English, Councilwoman Barron, Councilman Pugh, Councilwoman Mackey, Councilman Paul Livingston, Councilwoman Tyra Little, and Councilwoman Elaine, who is not here. And Don Weaver, I thank you also for y'all's support in making this celebration what it will be. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next is a resolution honoring the life and legacy of Dr. Matilda A. Evans. Madam Clerk.
A resolution recognizing the life and legacy of Dr. Matilda A. Evans, 1872 to 1935. Whereas Dr. Matilda A. Evans was born on May 13, 1872 in Aiken, South Carolina, to Anderson and Harriet Evans. She was the eldest of 3 children and spent her early years working in the fields with her family. And whereas Dr. Evans was a trailblazer in medicine, making significant contributions as an African-American physician, educator, philanthropist, and community leader. In 1987, she became the first African-American citizen, male or female, to be licensed to practice medicine in South Carolina. And whereas Dr. Evans was raised with a deep value for education and attended the Schofield Normal and Industrial School in Aiken, founded by Martha Schofield, a Philadelphia Quaker and abolitionist who became Dr. Evans's mentor and helped her pursue higher education. Dr. Evans continued her studies at Oberlin College in Ohio and later accepted a teaching position at the Haynes Institute in Augusta, Georgia. Her pursuit of medical excellence led her to the Women's Medical College of Pennsylvania, where she earned her MD. before establishing her own practice in Columbia, South Carolina. And whereas during World War I, Dr. Evans was appointed to the Volunteer Medical Service Corps by the U.S. Council of National Defense, and in 1922, she became the first Black woman to serve as president of the Palmetto Medical Association. She also held the position of regional vice president of the National Medical Association and founded the Negro Health Journal of South Carolina. And whereas a tireless advocate for children's health, Dr. Evans worked with state officials to implement health programs in South Carolina schools, and she advocated for free vaccinations for African American children. In 1930, she opened the Evans Clinic Association, Columbia's first free clinic for African American children. And whereas her love for her community was matched by her love for her family, Dr. Evans adopted and raised over 24 children while being a devoted mother to 6 biological children: John, Maddie, Gretchen, Myrtle, Edward, and Sydney. She enrolled her children at Benedict College and trained them to carry her business and values. And whereas Dr. Matilda A. Evans passed away on November 17, 1935 in Columbia, South Carolina, her home at 2027 Taylor Street was listed in the National Register of Historic Places in 2019. Dr. Evans's pioneering work in healthcare, public health, education, and community service remains a lasting legacy in Columbia and across South Carolina. And now, therefore, be it resolved, Richland County Council members Jason Branham, Derek Pugh, Tyra K. Little, Paul Livingston, Allison Terratio, Don Weaver, Gretchen Barron, Tish Dozier Aileen, Jessica Mackey, Chaquise Newton, and Cheryl English recognize and honor Dr. Matilda A. Evans and her legacy for many outstanding years and contributions to education, healthcare, community service, and dedication to excellent service to Richland County, South Carolina.
Madam Chair, I just wanted, before the family members come and make comments, I think that this resolution is definitely befitting as we are in a couple of days celebrating Juneteenth. And really, as we talk about Juneteenth, we talk about Black excellence. We talk about not only Black excellence in, you know, a lot of times we get stuck with the arts, but we're talking about Black excellence tonight in education, in the medical field that has transcend not just Richland County, but our country in so many ways. And to note that the direct connection is right here in Richland County, and many of the family members still live right here in Richland County as a part and as a tribute to the life and legacy of Dr. Evans. So tonight, it's a great honor to be able to have this as a memorial and a tribute to her life and legacy. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello, everyone. My name is Nadia J. Muhammad, and I'm the great-granddaughter of Dr. Matilda A. Evans, affectionately known as the Great Doctor. On behalf of my family and I, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to this beautiful resolution because it comes here from Richland County. Out of all of the countless recognitions and all the awards that she received globally around the world, this is very special to us because it comes from Richland County, the very dear county where Dr. Evans lived, breathed, worked, and did the work here. Dr. Evans' life continued to live on. And we just want to say thank you so very much. And please know that you're very dear to our hearts. And let us continue to say her name Matilda. And thank you so much for this recognition.
Next is a resolution recognizing June as National Safety Month. Councilman Branham, you're recognized.
Thank you. Whereas each year, more than 2,800,000 workers suffer from serious job-related injuries or illnesses. Over 5,400 Americans die from work-related incidents, and thousands more workers are permanently disabled. There are even more workers injured or maimed. And whereas Richland County recognizes that in order to reduce the occurrence of workplace accidents, local government employers must demonstrate an ongoing dedication to the safety of their employees. And whereas the observance of National Safety Month is a positive and proactive way to advance our goal of reducing workplace accidents and to demonstrate our commitment to the safety of Richland County employees. And whereas National Safety Month and associated safety programs raise awareness, provide quality training and education. And whereas Richland County is dedicated to working together to help keep employees safe and to reduce the number of injuries in our workplaces. And now, therefore, be it resolved, Richland County Council members Jason Branham, Derek Pugh, Tyra K. Little, Paul Livingston, Allison Terratio, Dawn Weaver, Gretchen Barron, Tish Dozier Aline, Jessica Mackey, Cheryl English, and Shaquise Newton hereby proclaim June 2025 as National Safety Month in Richland County, South Carolina, and encourage Richland County employees to renew their focus on workplace safety now and in the future. Thank you.
Do we have a representative? Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. My name is Matt Drawdy. I'm the safety manager for Richland County. We appreciate your support, continued support, not only in the month of June, but throughout the year. So thank you very much for recognizing June as Safety Month.
Thank you. Okay, so we made it through our proclamations and resolutions this evening. And so before we begin taking pictures, we have a large crowd this evening, and I just wanted to take a moment to briefly recognize some folks that we have in attendance. I see Senator Tamika Isaac Devine standing up joining us this evening. Hello. I see Commissioner Shelley Williams from Richland School District 2. Thank you. Also, I see Richland School District 1. I saw several people. I see the chair, Robert Lomanek. Thank you. I see Miss Weston, Miss Barbara Weston. Dr. Aaron Bishop, there he is, yes. And Miss Angela Clyburn. Thank you. Also, we have Superintendent of Richland School District 1, Craig Witherspoon. And then also, Mr. Jamie Devine from Commissioner School District 1. Thank you for being here this evening. And again, did I miss anyone else? Y'all, there's so many people here. Where? Wave your hand. Oh, our forever mayor, Mayor Bob Coble's in the building. Needs no introduction. Did I miss anyone else? Thank y'all so much for coming. Did I miss it? You gotta wave your hand. Where? Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Good to see you. All right, so first we have Blythewood High School Girls Track Team. Vice Chair Pugh, if you want to head on down, please, for a photo with your championship team. All right. Next is Mosquito Control Awareness Week. Yes, please.
Struggling to Mr. Livingston back there. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Good right there. And Miss Terracio, come this way slightly up. That's it right here. All right, I'm gonna shoot a few here, guys. So just hold that. Up there. That's good. One more. Thank you.
I stay excited.
Yeah, we try.
That's good right there, y'all. Mr. Pugh, yeah, come on in here, Mr. Pugh. It'd be better over here, yes. All right, here we go. That's good. I might have to go high once again, y'all, sorry. All right, that's good right there. Okay, I'm just gonna fire off a few more, just bear with me. Yep, and one more. Those should be good, let me check and make sure that we're doing good. Got it. I'll look in here because I can only see through the viewfinder. That, what's going on there? Hang on. Yeah, that's good, we got it. see everybody now. That's good. All right, guys, hold that for me. Yep, a couple more like that. One. I think those are good. Those look great. She hated me having long hair. Kind of torn. I said, but I'm gonna do it her on and then let her grow it long again. Yeah. The reason I cut it last time when she was sick is because she said, well, you gotta cut that night. All right, one last one. Didn't have long. On the good side. There is no good side. Never mind. Thank you. Do a good job now. I'm trying.
She said to me, virtually, she's gonna come over.
She moved or something there. I can't see her now. And now, let's see, Mr. Pugh might want to go in that gap right there now. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that's good. Let me make sure I see everyone. Yep, that's fine right there. Hold that, guys. I'm just going to fire off a couple more here. All right, that should be good.
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
We're done with it.
Thank you all for coming out this evening and helping us to recognize and many special months and special people this evening. Next item is our approval of minutes, 6A, regular session, June 3rd, 2025.
So move, Madam Chair.
Second.
Motion is second for approval. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron, Lean,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next is item 6B, special call meeting, June 5th, 2025.
Madam Chair, I move to approve.
Second?
Motion is second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Branham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little. Yes. Livingston.
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Barron, Aline,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next is item 7, adoption of the agenda.
Madam Chair,
You're recognized, Attorney Wright.
I would like to defer items 17A, B, and C for further legal review. Or request that they be deferred. My bad.
What date, sir?
I would say the 15th, July 15th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion. Attorney Wright, can none of these happen on July 8th?
I think the administrator would like the 120 Clemson Road to be July 8th.
So that's 17C.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'd like to accept that as a friendly amendment to my motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Madam Clerk?
Branham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
We have Administrator Brown. Any other changes to the agenda this evening?
No, Madam Chair.
All right. We're at item 7, adoption of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Madam Chair.
A motion is second for approval of the agenda. Madam Clerk?
Branham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next is item 8, report of the attorney for executive session items. Attorney Wright, you're recognized.
Yes, Madam Chair. We have 2 matters for executive session. 8A, legal advice regarding tax assessments pursuant to SC Code Section 30-4-70A2. 8B, discussion and legal advice concerning the contract for private public pet services pursuant to SC Code Section 30-4-70A2 as well. And 8A does have outside counsel.
Thank you. Per the report of the county attorney, per our county rules, items that require outside counsel shall be taken up during our first executive session. All other items will be taken up at the second executive session in our agenda. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss item 8A.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
Motion is second. Madam Clerk?
Branham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
We're now in executive session. I entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Yes.
Little? Yes. Livingston?
Yes.
Teratio?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
Barron?
Yes.
Aline?
Yes.
Mackey?
Yes.
English?
Yes.
Newton?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Please let the record reflect that we went into executive session to discuss item 8A, legal advice regarding tax assessments, and no action was taken. Next is item 9, citizens' input for items on the agenda not requiring a public hearing. Vice Chair Pugh?
No one signed up to speak for that item, ma'am.
Thank you. Item 10, citizens' input must pertain to Richland County matters not on the agenda. Items for which a public hearing is required or a public hearing has been scheduled cannot be addressed at this time. Vice Chair Pugh?
No one signed up to speak for that item, ma'am.
Thank you. Item 11, report of the county administrator. Administrator Brown, you recognize.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair, members of council. The item on your packet for the administrator's nomination, the Midlands Workforce Area SC Work System. This item comes to you as an annual item. The Midlands Workforce Development Board seeks council's approval of the attached agreement, which outlines the budget and operational framework for SC Works in the Midlands area. The agreement also outlines the cost-sharing arrangements among the partners, and there is no county fiscal impact or obligation. And Madam Clerk, if you could go to page 53. So as you can see, this item does require the chief elected official's signature. If you could then go to page 51 for me. No, 50 of your actual document. So the duration of this MOU shall be reviewed and renewed annually, which is why we did this before, to ensure transparency and continuous improvement to the delivery of services and to reflect any changes in the signatory official for this board and these parties. Again, the fiscal year for this item is recognized as July 1 through June 30th. And so basically what you have here is the council would need to consider and then approve the chair to sign this agreement, which allows all of these workforce development agencies to come together to provide the services that you will see listed again on page 53 of the PDF of this document, where it outlines all of the, page 38, I'm sorry, of this document that outlines all these different community partners relative to this workforce board. So that's why this is before you. It's one of those things where our agency has to be the conduit for it, but we don't have any fiscal accountability or responsibility relative to this matter. But this is something that is important for the Midlands area because it does allow these parties to work together for the listed purposes that are there in your packet, and there are quite a few of them. So we do recommend this item for approval for this particular agency.
For the administrator's recommendation, are there any questions? I entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second for approval. Madam Clerk?
Brenham?
Yes.
Pugh?
Yes.
Little? Yes. Livingston?
Yes.
Teratio?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
Barron?
Yes.
Aline?
Yes.
Mackey?
Yes.
English?
Yes.
Newton?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Madam Chair, move for reconsideration. Second.
Motion is second for reconsideration. Madam Clerk?
Brenham?
No.
Pugh?
No.
Little? No. Livingston?
No.
Teratio?
No.
Weaver?
No.
Barron?
No.
Aline?
No.
Mackey?
No.
English?
No.
Newton?
No.
Motion fails.
Madam Chair, members of council, that is the only item that I have to present to you on tonight.
Next is item 12, report of the clerk of council. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just like to announce that there will be a couple of meetings that are taking place, and we invite the public to participate. On June 26th, District 10 will be hosting a comprehensive plan update at the Eastover Park. Everyone is welcome to attend the meeting starting at 6 o'clock. On Tuesday, July the 8th, the Richland County Homeownership Assistance Program will be hosting a work session at the Sheriff's Department Annex located on Deckard Boulevard. Everyone that wants to attend and get more information about Homeownership Assistance Program, they are welcome to attend from 6 to 7 p.m. That concludes my report.
Madam Chair,
Recognize Councilwoman Newton.
may I have a point of personal privilege?
Sure.
Our clerk just announced 2 upcoming community meetings, but I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our staff for doing a wonderful job hosting a town hall for District 11 last night. Our staff always does a great job. You show up early, you stay late, you get everything set up, you make sure that our citizens can get the information that they need. And I just really appreciate this model that we're using, and it worked really well. So thank you to everyone who came out, and a particular thank you to our clerk who made sure that we ended our meeting on time, and to our MC, Administrator Brown.
Thank you. Next is item 13, report of the chair. The 2026 Strategic Planning Forum. At our last council meeting, I mentioned to my colleagues to please share ideas for locations of our upcoming Strategic Planning Forum. I heard, I think, from 2 people. I'm still open to receiving locations, and would encourage you to please submit those by the end of this month. You'll be receiving an email soon with dates for consideration, and we'll be looking to make a decision at our first meeting in July. That concludes my report. Next is item 14, open and closed public hearings. 14A, authorizing the expansion of the boundaries of the I-77 Corridor Regional Industrial Park jointly developed with Fairfield County to include certain property located in Richland County. The execution and delivery of an infrastructure credit agreement to provide for infrastructure credits to Core Columbia Hampton LLC, a company previously identified as Project Catalyst, and other related matters. This public hearing is now open. Vice Chair Pugh, do we have anyone to sign up to speak this evening?
Madam Chair, no one signed up to speak for that item.
This public hearing is now closed. Next is item 15, approval of consent items. 15A, case number 25-018MA. Joyce Burgess.
Madam Chair,
You recognize the speaker.
move to approve 15A.
Second.
Motion is second for approval. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Item 16, third reading items. 16A, authorizing the expansion of the boundaries of the I-77 Corridor Regional Industrial Park jointly developed with Fairfield County to include certain property located in Richland County, the execution and delivery of an infrastructure credit agreement to provide for infrastructure credits to Core Columbia Hampton LLC, a company previously identified as Project Catalyst, and other related matters.
Madam Chair, move for approval.
Second.
A motion and a second for approval. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey,
I recuse myself due to my parent company representing this client.
noted. English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Next is item 16B. Thank you.
Move to reconsider.
Second.
Motion and second for reconsideration. Any discussion? 16A. 16A, the motion is for reconsideration on 6. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
No.
Pugh,
No.
Little,
No.
Livingston,
No.
Teratio, Weaver,
No.
Barron,
No.
Aline,
No.
Mackey, noted. English,
No.
Newton.
No.
Motion fails.
Next is item 16B, An ordinance authorizing levying of ad valorem property taxes, which together with the prior year's carryover and other state levies and any additional amount appropriated by the Richland County Council prior to July 1, 2025, will provide sufficient revenues for the operation of Richland County government during the period from July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, so as to raise revenue, make appropriations, and amend the general fund, millage agencies, special revenue funds, enterprise funds, and debt service funds budget for Richland County, South Carolina for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026. Please note, all council members, that you do have an 11 by 17 attachment on at your desk. Is the information that was in your packet, but it is printed larger so you can read it. We went through each item during our last meeting, and you can see in the column on your far left, actions that were taken. So at this time, if there are any other additional motions for changes within these motions, or we can accept this entire document as is. Before we begin, I will recognize Director Hammond.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and esteemed council members of Richland County, for allowing us the opportunity to go through the third budget reading with you tonight. I wanted to ask for a scrivener's error to be recognized on the third reading budget motions list that you have in front of you. The date on the most current list should be at the top as 6/10/2025 at 3:15 p.m. On item or motion number 5, the note that you see in the column labeled fiscal year 26 second reading note, it shows that a no mill budget was passed, but the amount in the fiscal year second reading amount, that amount is incorrect, and it should be $8,464,000. Excuse me, $8,464,300. That is a difference of $427,800, which is less than what is in the column now. Would you please accept that correction to the motions list, Madam Chair?
Yes, thank you so much for clearing that up. Ms. Horatio, did you have a question?
Thank you. Just to make sure that I'm looking at, that's the Midland Technical College operating line item?
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
Okay. And was that what was requested? Can you remember that?
No, ma'am, this is less than what was requested. The amount was requested was at the cap.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Chair.
I'm sorry, give me just 1 minute. Does that conclude all of your information?
Yes,
Director
ma'am,
Hammond?
that
Okay.
will conclude the update for the
Thank you.
corrections.
Thank you so much. Councilwoman English, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move, and this would be item number 1, for Richland County Recreation Commission to give them the 3/10, moving them from 18,412,400 to 18,812,400, and that would be 0.3%.
Second. A motion and a second. Discussion?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Ms. Ray, you recognize.
Yeah, just a question to maybe Ms. English. For this amount, is there is there something that this difference represents? So, for instance, is this helping to fund a specific initiative or item for the Recreation Commission?
Yes, ma'am, with the needed updates, tennis courts, the recreations that go along with children's services, they're ADA compliant that they have to comply with, and all of these changes that must be made, not taking them to the full cap, but allowing them to begin the process of starting these renovations that are much needed.
Thank you, Mr. Ratio. Councilman Weaver?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to clarify, so the second reading passed, if I'm reading this correctly, was the 19-108-400. So Ms. English's motion would be lowering that amount, correct?
8. It would be 18. It passed at 18-412.
Oh, it passed at the 18-412.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Councilwoman Barron, you recognize.
Thank you. And so I'll say what I would have said when I make my motion. I'll just say it now. And that is that I talked to Director Lewis, and I'm sure many of you all have as well, but this agency is not alone when it comes to the requirements that they're having to do that have been mandated by the state, and no additional funding is coming alongside of that. So to Ms. Teracio's point or her question, I think there is like 17 buildings that now have to be come up to ADA compliance per the mandate of the state of South Carolina, and no funding has come alongside of that. I will also say, while I'm having this conversation, is that this council has been really committed to not trying to raise taxes. I've been here for 5 years. We've not raised taxes. And this is one of these things. This is, and I said it last reading, this is a hard place to be in. It's a very hard place to be in, but it's a real place that we have to be in, because as many of these agencies are being negatively impacted by what's going on at the federal level, at the state level, and no one's taking that into consideration, where these funds come from, where should they be funded from, and unfortunately, they are funded through our taxes, and that's how it's generated, how it works. And when we look at funding, whether it's the zoo or the schools, we're requiring, and we want them to have the same level of excellence from 2020 and to 25, but we're not willing to give them any more to do what they need to do. And so I hope that as we move forward in these motions, that we keep that in mind, that everything costs more nowadays. It's not what we want to do, but when we look at what the state of where we are, it is our reality, and it is what we have to do. These are organizations, these are millage agencies that we have to steward over, and we have to make sure that they have what they need so that their missions can be accomplished. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
You recognize.
All right, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to.
I'm sorry, sir. We're still in discussion.
We're still in discussion?
Yes,
Okay.
with the current
All right.
motion.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Yes, you recognize, Councilwoman. Okay, great. All right, Madam Clerk.
Brenham?
No.
Pugh?
No.
Little?
Yes.
Livingston? Yes. Terratio?
Yes.
Weaver?
No.
Barron?
Yes?
Lean?
No.
Mackey?
Yes.
English?
Yes.
Newton?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Vice Chair Pugh, would you recognize, sir?
Yes, ma'am. So is the
Yes, sir.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to fund Midlands Area Food Bank at $75,000 from the Community Impact Grant Competitive Fund Balance.
Which item number?
Second for discussion.
The motion and a second.
Chair.
Yes, you recognize.
Mr. Pugh, could you point us to where that is?
That's the motion that I made. I withdrew that motion at our last meeting, so I'm putting it back.
Okay, so it's not currently listed at all?
No.
Okay.
Councilwoman Newton.
Just wondering if the maker of the motion could speak to it more. I'm not as familiar with that organization, so, and then there might be members of the public who are not aware of the balance in our competitive food. Our
Area-
competitive grants program.
So Midlands Area Food Bank serves the northeast part of Columbia. It's our local food bank in the northeast of Columbia, which help provide food for our constituents in the northeast area of Richland County.
Thank you. And then if you wouldn't mind, you mentioned funding it from the competitive grants. So could you just remind us, or maybe staff would want to remind us, how much money was left in that pot that was already approved? And I think that citizens might just appreciate knowing that there were funds left in that and it's not an increase.
Thank you. So for the community impact grants, the portion that was remaining was $75,040.
We'll have 40 left.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
I'm sorry, did that conclude your comments, Ms. Newton?
That was my question.
Okay.
Unless he
I
wanted
just want to make
say
sure you're
anything
done
else.
before I go to Ms. Barron.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Ms. Barron, you recognize.
Thank you. So to be clear, this motion does not impact the work that the committee's already done.
I'm sorry, are you asking that question to staff or, I mean, I can answer it and say, no, it does not. Does that, okay. Any further discussion? Councilman Branham.
I think maybe Ms. Hammond started to say it or was talking around it, but just to confirm, this motion would not impact property taxes?
No, sir. This is the balance of monies already set aside. These monies would go back to the general fund if they are not allocated in this reading.
Thank you.
Other discussion? Madam Clerk.
Branham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little, Livingston, Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
No.
Barron,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes,
Motion approved.
Madam Chair.
You recognize Councilwoman Newton.
Thank you. And I'm not sure if this is the appropriate time for this motion, so you can let me know, but when we are voting on all the items that are in our budget, I would move that we remove items 108 and 109. I'd like for us to vote on those items separately regarding our utility rates.
Thank you. I would ask staff to confirm, are there any other items on this list that we have not taken action on, or are we good to go?
Yes, ma'am. There are four items that no action has been taken on.
Thank you.
Those items are number 63, number 64, number 113, and number 114. And I'm sorry, that's going to be page 2. The last two items, page 3, the last two items, and the final page, page 5, the last two items.
I'm sorry, I was with you until I was not.
Okay.
So.
Sure, so.
63, 64.
So on page 3, that's going to be items 63 and 64. And then on page 5, that'll be items 113 and 114. Those items had no action in second reading and were moved for consideration for this reading.
Thank you. So items 63 and 64 at this point do not have any dollar amount tied to those. And so at this point, you just need a motion to carry forward no dollar amount.
The items are shown at no dollar amount to indicate that these are items presented to the budget department or the administrator, and staff is not recommending funding them, but we are making sure that you see them just in case that you'd like to make a motion on them.
And if no one makes a motion, it stays blank and we move forward. Is that correct? Or do you
Yes.
need a motion to remove it?
We do not need an action. We will not do anything if no action is taken.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Chair.
Recognize.
Thank you. And so, before I make my motion, I will say, go back to my statement about the commitment to making sure that the agencies that we represent have what they need in order to do what they need. And that is, at this point, I'm talking about educating our children. And as we look at our millage agencies, all of which, except for 3, and I'll say 3 because even though Midlands Tech did not get what they requested in their operating budget, they did in their capital budget. So with that, I am making a motion to approve items 7 and 8, which is Richland County School District 1 and Richland County School District 2 at the requested amount.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Councilwoman Teresia, you recognize.
Thank you. Can we just have those, the requested amount? Because I think what we have are the second reading amounts and the third reading amounts, but I don't think what we're looking at right now has requested amounts.
They're the same.
Or the second reading amount was the requested amount? That's, okay, I'm seeing heads nod. Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Newton? I'm sorry, Mr. Teresia, are you done?
I'm good, I
Okay.
think.
Ms. Newton?
Okay, well, I had one question, but now I need to clarify Ms. Teresia's question. So the motion, Ms. Barron's motion was to fund at the requested amount. So are you, just so that I'm clear, you're requesting the funding that is listed on this spreadsheet, or you're requesting a different number?
It is the second reading amount, which was also the amount that was listed on our spreadsheet from the second reading. So it is, in this case, for Richland County School District 2 would be $277,499,134 for Richland 1. For Richland 2 would be $200,287,633. So that's why we need a school district, so we can read big numbers.
So then I guess to clarify, the motion that I remember and that I see here, there was the 1 mil and 1.5 mil increase, which was different than the mill cap. So then, is this number representing the 1 and 1.5 mil, or is it representing the mill cap?
So Ms. Barron's motion is for the mill cap. The mill cap is represented in the second reading amount column. The third reading amount column is what would reflect the amount from what was voted on at the last reading, which was 1 mil and 1.5.
That's where I was getting off
Yes.
track.
So
Okay.
the mill cap is the same as what is in second reading amount.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then whether it's the auditor or staff, if someone could just speak to what the impact would be for this motion.
That is the auditor.
Well, I just wanted to give people options when I started with the auditor.
No. I've learned from Auditor Broadley, let him speak on the numbers.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of council. For District 1, it's 7.7 mils.
Additional or total? Will be additional.
Total.
Okay.
What is that in $1,000 home?
Be $30.80 on a $100,000 home. That's a,
Just clarify.
owner occupied, there is no additional taxes, so let me get you, correct this. $46.20 on commercial property.
So I'm sorry, that was Richland 1, and then I thought you were going to continue with Richland 2.
Okay, we're doing Richland 2 as well.
They were both in the motion.
All right. Richland 2 is $72 on commercial property. And that would be a $100,000 commercial property.
Any further questions? Pausing just to give colleagues time.
Madam Chair,
You recognize.
I think I missed a number. So Richland 1 is 7.7 from $30.80 to $46.20. Those are two different numbers. Can you read that one through for me, please?
All right, 7.7 mils. That's $46.20 on the $100,000 commercial property.
Okay.
Legal residence, there is no difference.
Got it. Okay. I don't know where I got $30.80.
I initially did legal residence. That's where
Okay.
you got the $30.80 from.
Got it. Thank you. That helps.
Councilman Weaver?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Auditor, but there would be an increase in millage on vehicles, correct?
That's correct.
Do you have that amount?
I can calculate it right quick. $9.20.
That per 20,000, I think, last time?
That's a $20,000 vehicle.
20,000.
And that's for District 1.
Thank you.
Be $14.40 in District 2 on a $20,000 automobile.
Madam Chair.
All right, Mr. Livingston, you reckon?
Clarification, Mr. Auditor, is that 7.7 mils, that's the difference between first and second reading, or that's the difference between last year amount and what's being proposed now?
The 7.7 mils is the cap. So that's the difference between what the millage rate was last year and what the cap is for this year.
I'm sorry, Ms. Barron, then Ms. Newton. Ms. Barron?
Thank you. Mr. Brawley, if you would, for the general public, I think this is important for everyone to note. You made the statement about legal residency and owner occupied versus commercial property. Can you expound on that so that the general public can clearly understand how this impacts them personally or for their homes when it comes to the school districts? Because I do think that there is some confusion as to how that weighs out and how it impacts the residents in Richland County.
Thank you, Ms. Barron. There was this wonderful act called Act 388 that was passed a number of years ago. And what Act 388 basically did, if you live in your home and it's your legal residence, the assessor's office has granted you legal residence on your home, you don't pay anything for school operating taxes because it's being made up by sales tax that was increased when that legislation took effect.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Newton?
Thank you. So you mentioned that it was 7.7 mils for Richland 1. Can you tell us the mils for Richland 2?
12.
Thank you.
Other discussion? Madam Clerk, well, is everybody clear on what they're voting on? Anybody need a motion repeated? Madam Clerk, I'm sorry, yes, Councilwoman Little?
Madam Chair.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Here's my question, because I'm trying to make sure that I'm understanding this. So if what Councilwoman Barron is asking us to vote on, if we're saying no to this or yes to this, say if we're saying no to this, then what has to happen in order to get back to what?
Yes, ma'am. So, with Ms. Barron's current motion is for items 7 and 8 to, fund them at the requested amount, which is the mill cap. If, that motion passes, then that is what will be funded. If that motion fails, then we go back to the motion that was passed at second reading, which is, 1 mill increase for Richland 1 and a 1.5 mill increase for Richland 2. All right? Madam Clerk.
Brenham,
No.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
No.
Livingston, Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
No.
Barron,
Yes.
Aileen,
No.
Mackey,
No.
English,
No.
Newton.
No.
Motion fails.
Thank you.
Mr.
Recognize.
Mr. Livingston, you can hear them.
I'm sorry.
Fund Richland 1 at a 3 mill increase and Richland 2 at a 6 mill increase. That's half of what we're talking about. Yeah.
The motion dies for lack of a second.
Madam,
I waited. Yes, ma'am, you recognize, Mr.
Madam Chair.
Ratio? Yes.
when I heard Councilman Livingston's motion, I guess I was understanding that Richland 1 total mills is 7.7 mills and Richland 2 total mills is 12 mills. And so when I heard the motion, it sounded like it was that amount of increase. And so I think that was a point of confusion. So.
I'd be explaining.
Okay.
Get an opportunity to.
Y'all didn't say that. That's how it works. Second.
Madam Chair?
You're recognized, Councilwoman Barron.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to, and I'm gonna try my best, Mr. Livingston, so help me. I'd like to make a motion to approve Richland County School District 1 to 3 meals and Richland County School District 2 to 6 meals. Come on, y'all, she gonna cancel it.
Second.
A motion is second. Just for clarification on the rules, the way it works is you make a motion. If no one seconds, it dies. I don't cancel any motions. Just the rules state simply that works that way. Someone makes a motion, and then someone must second the motion. In order to carry on with the meeting, someone must second it, or we move on. So we're now in discussion. Is there any discussion related to that motion?
Madam Chair?
You recognized.
Thank you. I'd like, for my colleagues, it was a little bit confusing, and so in the spirit, I would ask Mr. Livingston to explain what his original motion was.
It was kind of splitting the difference between the 7 meals and the 12 meals to the cap. Instead of just going over to the cap, just splitting the difference. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Mr. Livingston, and so just in the spirit of compromise and trying to get to increase to a higher rate, that's why I stepped in to support this. because at the end of the day, it's about still trying to get these school districts ample funding. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
No.
Pugh,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
No.
Barron,
Yes?
Eileen,
No.
Mackey,
No.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Madam Chair?
Okay,
I'm
yes.
sorry. I'd like to go back to my previous question. I know we're taking and making motions, but I move that we remove or we separate items 108 and 109 from the general budget vote, and we vote on those items separately.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? We are now taking a vote on items 108 and 109. Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
All right.
Like
I thought we
discussion.
were voting on how we would structure future votes, but we're voting on items 108 and
108,
109.
I'm sorry, was that, I thought was to remove it, and I thought we were taking action on those right now. I'm sorry, was that not your motion?
That was my motion.
Okay.
If council thinks it's better to handle it
Well,
differently.
you
then
made a
we can.
motion, we have a second, I asked for discussion, we're now calling the vote. It is for 108 and 109. That's what.
Thank you.
Yep.
My vote is yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little, Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
No.
Barron,
No?
Eileen,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
No.
Motion approved.
Thank you. I would ask my colleagues to look at items 113 and 114.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
move to approve items 113 and 114 at the
Second.
requested amounts.
Thank you. Motion and second approval for 113 and 114. Madam Clerk?
Wait, I have discussion.
Yes, ma'am, you recognize.
Sorry. Actually, so what these items are strictly it's fund balance and their regular budget, but it's no impact to our taxes for these votes.
Director Hammond, you recognize.
Yes, ma'am. The airport is an enterprise fund, so it would be no impact on our taxes. The use of fund balance that you see here is for a part of it is for the cost allocation plan that's in an earlier motion.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Further discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes?
Eileen,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes?
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, hearing no other motions, we have addressed all items listed in this motion list. I'll now entertain a motion to accept or approve all items.
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. Just want to confirm from staff, you don't need anything else? All right, Madam Clerk? I'm sorry. Councilwoman Barron.
Yes, so I would like for the auditor to, based upon the budget that we have approved, and I don't know if we can get these numbers tonight, but based on the budget that we've approved, what would be the impact to the residents per their property taxes?
think we may have that. Give me just a second. On a $100,000 home, it would be $23.60. That's a legal residence property. On a $100,000 commercial property, I'm sorry, $26 on the legal residence property. On a $100,000 commercial property in District 1, be $57. On a $100,000 commercial property in District 2, $75. On a $20,000 automobile in District 1, $11.40. And on the $20,000 automobile in District 2, $15.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham?
Nope.
Pugh?
No.
Little?
The motion is to approve all the items in the budget before you.
Yes.
I don't, a county attorney.
Yes, the clerk has not announced a final decision, so she can change if she so desires.
That's yes.
Madam Chair, would you like me to restart the vote?
I think you have to, if the ones who have voted request a change, then you go there, so.
Ms. Little, you would like to change your motion to yes? Okay. Livingston?
Yes.
Teratio?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
Barron?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yeah.
Mackey?
Yes.
English?
Yes.
Newton?
Yes.
Motion approved.
A motion for reconsideration, please.
Move to reconsider. Second.
Motion and a second for reconsideration. Madam Clerk?
Brenham?
Yes.
Pugh?
Yes.
Little? Livingston?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, we reconsidered.
Yes, this is a vote on reconsideration.
No.
Teratio?
No.
Weaver?
No.
Barron?
No.
Eileen?
No.
Mackey?
No.
English?
No.
Newton?
No.
Right.
Motion fails.
All right, staff, anything else you need for item 16B? Thank you. We're at item 17. Wait, second reading items, we do not have any second reading items tonight. All of those were deferred. We're at item 18, first reading items. 18A, an ordinance authorizing the termination of a conservation easement on certain lands currently owned by Brenda Quick and the Ball Family Revocable Trust.
Madam Clerk. I'm sorry, not Madam Clerk, Madam Chair.
You recognize?
That item actually is related to B in second reading, so I would also ask that that be deferred to July 15th.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to defer item 18A until July 15th. Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little, Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next is item 18B, authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds in one or more series tax exempt or taxable in an amount not to exceed $70 million to fund the cost of certain capital projects, authorizing the county administrator to prescribe the details of the issuance and sale of the bonds and the form and details of the bonds, providing for the disposition of the proceeds of the bonds and the payment of the bonds and other related matters.
Madam Chair, I move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second for approval. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
No.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little, Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next is item 19, report of the Economic Development Committee. Councilman Livingston, you recognized.
Madam Chair, item 19A, authorizing the expansion of the boundaries of the I-77 Corridor Regional Industrial Park jointly developed with Fairfield County to include certain property related to Richland County, the execution and delivery of a public infrastructure credit agreement to provide for public infrastructure credits to a company identified for the time being as Project Momentum and other related matters. The committee's recommendation, Madam Chair, was for approval.
You've heard this committee's recommendation. It does not require a second. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Mackey,
I recuse myself due to my parent company representing this applicant.
noted. English,
Yes.
Newton.
No.
Motion approved.
Livingston, you recognized.
Madam Chair, item 19B, committing to negotiate a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes agreement between Richland County and Project West, identifying the project and other matters related thereof. Committee's recommendations for approval.
You've heard this committee's recommendation. It does not require a second. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Councilman Living, you recognized.
Madam Chair, item 19C, authorizing the execution and delivery of fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and incentives agreement by and between Richland County, South Carolina, and Project West to provide for a payment of fee in lieu of taxes, authorizing certain infrastructure credits and other related matters. The committee's recommendation is for approval for first reading.
You've heard this committee's recommendation. It does not require a second. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Madam Chair, that completes the report of the Economic Development Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Lip. Next is item 20, other items.
Madam Chair,
You recognize Councilwoman Newton.
move to approve items 20A through C.
Second.
Motion is second for approval of 20A through C. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little, Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio, Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Move for reconsideration.
Second.
Motion is second for reconsideration. Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
No.
Pugh,
No.
Little, Livingston,
No.
Teratio,
No.
Weaver,
No.
Barron,
No.
Eileen,
No.
Mackey,
No.
English,
No.
Newton.
No.
Motion fails.
Next is item 21, executive session. This is our second executive session of the evening, going back to 8B, discussion and legal advice concerning the contract for private public pet services pursuant to South Carolina Code of Laws, Section 30-40-70A2. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved, Madam Chair. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Attorney Wright, anything else we need to add to that item?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little. Yes. Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
We're now in executive session.
Move to come out of executive session.
Second.
I had a motion and a second to come out of executive session. Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Little, Livingston, Teratio.
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Lean,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English, Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Please let the record reflect that we went into executive session to discuss item 8B, and no action was taken. Next is item 22, motion period. I did not receive any motions this evening. And then just a point of clarification, for item 16A, can you please confirm, was reconsideration done to this evening?
No, I don't think. Hold on. It was? It was? Oh, yeah.
I believe so. I believe
Yes, it was reconsidered. Yes,
Okay,
by Barron in English. Yes.
the clerk said yes by Barron in English, and then the appropriate steps were taken to get the vote.
Thank you. All right, we are at item 23, adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second for adjournment. Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Little, Barron,
Yes.
Lean,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.